To introduce our next inductee from the School of Podcasting and Podpage, 2018 honoree Dave Jackson.
Howdy. The Geologic Radio Hour aired back on June 13th, 2006. Now, that broadcast was transmitted from Lehigh University station WLVR 91.3 FM. And that later would turn into the Geologic Podcast in 2007, a long time ago. So I'm here to explain. Well, first, I could say, because I know you're thinking it maybe, who the hell is George Hrab? It's better to explain what is George Hrab. If you were to Frankenstein him together and take Spike Jones, not the cool record producer, the guy from the 30s, Spike Jones, mix him with Charlie Callis from the 70s. He was this comedian that did a lot of mouth noises, so you're going to get a lot of like, kind of stuff. Mix that with the weirdness of Frank Zappa and the absolute silliness of Monty Python, then throw it into a vat of like science stuff, just tons of it, and sprinkle in a little pop culture. And of course, if you listen to the show, George loves the band Yes, and you will hear lots about Yes. And I know, sure, David Letterman had his mom on his show, but did she ever read Jay-Z lyrics? No, but George's did, and that's just one of the segments that you might find on the Geologic Podcast. Things like interesting fauna, again, science, Rupert McClanahan's Indestructible Bastards, not the Bible. Now this is important because George is a skeptic. So what are you not going to hear, or what are you going to hear on George's show? Not the Bible. One of my favorites, Dr. Damien Hanzi's, we have kids in here? Facts that'll fuck you up. I love that one. Why do I listen to the Geologic Podcast? Because I'm not a skeptic. Because one of the segments is the religious moron of the week, and I want to make sure it's not me. So far, I'm okay. And the beauty of this is, as he continued to grow his show, every opportunity that came to George, he took absolute, just mastered it and over-delivered. And this led to him being asked to be the MC of TAM, which is short for the Amazing Meeting. And if you're a skeptic, this is like the Super Bowl of skeptics. And here again, Geo just blew them out of his socks, or out of their socks in this case. And he was asked back and back and back. So he's going all over the world emceeing the Amazing Meeting. But what about audience engagement? Well, have you ever had your audience make an episode for you? George did. They surprised him for his 100th episode. Think about that. And my favorite is, when is it time to monetize? When your audience goes, George, look, you're a brilliant musician. We've bought every CD. We even bought the weird coloring book thing you did. But for the love of God, put up a PayPal button. That's audience engagement. That is value for value. And look, I know we're all about AI these days. I don't care how many quantum computers you make. There's no way that you can make another George Hrab. He is the only one. He's funny, he's educational, he's compassionate, and he is 100% original entertainer. And that is why it is my absolute honor to induct George Hrab into the Podcast Hall of Fame.
Thank you, David. Let's give it up for the band. So I've got a bone to pick with the Hall of Fame. It's nice to be inducified, but what about Jethro Tull? What about Joy Division? You know, it's nice to be, me, sure, great, but what about Iron Maiden? You know, it's not fair, I don't think. Oh, Podcast Hall of Fame. That makes much more sense, doesn't it? Okay, enough of that bit. Oh, no, please. You'll only encourage him. Honestly, thank you, Dave. I really appreciate it. Back in 2005, my good friend Lau Hallin said he had one word for me. And while that one word did start with a P, no, it wasn't plastics. It was podcasting. I had no idea what that was. And he soon explained the medium to me. I have to eternally thank him for that. It was soon thereafter that the lovely Derrick and Swoopy from Skepticality played my music on their podcast, and we were off to the races. I subsequently started my own show with the thought that maybe a few friends might tune in, and maybe I'd do like a year's worth, around 50 or something like that. Well, it's 18 years later, and this week I posted show 899. Thank you. So I have to thank Misinformation, the wonderful Donna McG, who was there from show number 0, taking care of all the RSS feeds, the websites, the upload complexities, all that technical stuff that I, to this day, have no idea how it works. I'd not be standing here without her expertise, her loyalty, and friendship. Thank you. Finally, there's Kira Wilhelm, who's always provided me with an unequaled perspective on what's really important, and that the ideas of change, improvement, kindness, and awareness are never destinations, but a challenging and beautiful ongoing journey. Now, Shakespeare famously said, "Words are but wind." But George R.R. Martin said, "Words are wind, but wind can fan a fire." I am unimaginably humbled by this completely unexpected honor, and I ask that all of us in the podcasting sphere remember that our words can fan the fires of creativity, amazement, originality, education, entertainment, and happiness from the deepest recesses of my heart. Thank you.